Mr. CJ, how are you?
Hey, how's it? Good, mate. How are you doing?
I am in a warm 30-degree Melbourne day. I can't complain, man. We're finally getting some Sydney weather over here, so it's good, man. It's good. It's
Beautiful.
mate. Firstly, congratulations again, taking out the last PQ in the Australian calendar.
Thank you.
And we'll talk a little bit about it, because I do have a very specific question. Because in my research about your accolades, I did notice you're very well travelled, so I'll get you some opinions about that after. But mate, for those at home that don't know you, tell us, who is Mr. CJ? Maybe share some about your SWU journey, or any other TCG or sports accolades, or anything worth mentioning to introduce us to CJ.
So I'm currently living in Canberra. Grew up on the south coast, in the Illawarra. Born and raised in Dapto.
Jeez, those are foreign names. What does all that mean? Someplace in Canberra.
Wollongong. So the Illawarra, Wollongong, is
Yep.
about 2.5 hours from Canberra, about 45 to an hour south of Sydney.
Yep.
So just a beautiful area along the coast of New South Wales. So I spent a lot of time in the surf and playing a lot of sports. It's a very, very well known for its rugby league.
Ah.
So it's it's one half of the St. George Illawarra Dragons. It's the Illawarra side of it. I grew up there. I moved down to Canberra around 2016. When I got down to Canberra, I had a lot of spare time on my hands, not having the social connections that I had in Wollongong.
Yep.
And so I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I'd played it a lot as a kid and a teenager, and sort of it had fallen off as I played more and more sport. But being down in Canberra, I got back into it, and so I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until last year.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And so last year I sort of I'd grown tired of the constant rollover of $1,000 plus deck, good for a certain period, ban list comes through, nerfs that deck, the next best thing is another $1,000 plus deck, and that was kind of a cycle that had been happening for a few years there.
Wow.
And the speed and the pace of it had grown a little bit stale for me.
Yep.
Anybody who's seen it or who's still involved in it will know that one of their big events recently, the finals, was literally 3 turns in total for all 3 games.
Sounds like a Sabine mirror. Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't go very far, and it didn't have a lot of back and forth or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing against the game. I still love the game as a whole, but I had just grown tired of modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and so I was out of a TCG and didn't have a game I was involved in. And by chance, one of the content creators for Yu-Gi-Oh, they actually had also started playing SWU when it released.
Oh, wow.
And I randomly came across one of their videos, and everything about this game was very much like old school Yu-Gi-Oh, where it was a lot of back and forth. It went a long distance. There was a lot of just, do one thing, pass to your opponent. Yu-Gi-Oh is turn-based rather than SWU where it's action-based, but there was very few actions that you used to perform when the game was a lot younger.
Yep.
And so I decided, let's give this a shot. It was probably maybe 2 weeks or a month into Shadows meta.
So you're not from March 24. Okay, a little bit later. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
I missed set 1, so I spent a bit of time trying to pick up set 1 cards and trying to find the deck that I liked.
Yeah, $200 Vaders, that sort of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I was a very big mid-range and control player in Yu-Gi-Oh, and so trying to figure out how that looked in SWU.
Yep.
I settled on Bosk ECL as one of my first decks that I played a lot. I did have Han Green, but Bosk ECL, I really enjoyed that during set 2.
Oh wow!
And then so that was the deck that I took to the very first store showdown that I played in.
Oh, nice! One of my absolute favorites at the moment. So yeah, really fun deck.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So yeah, and since then you've focused SWU being the main game and no longer Yu-Gi-Oh, I assume.
Yeah. So yeah, SWU's my main game now. I haven't played much Yu-Gi-Oh since I stopped playing.
Yep.
They recently released a new format that's a little bit interesting. It's a point-based thing to try and stop some of those ridiculous paces that decks can put out. But no, the way that SWU plays, I don't think I'd ever go back to swapping off this one. The interaction, the way that the game's designed, and just the way that it plays, I really love that back and forth with opponents and getting into the game and actually having, actual interaction in the gameplay, not just having this, I take a turn, you take a turn. We might be able to play a few cards on each other's turn, but really, if somebody sees the stones, it's just game over. There's nothing you can do about it if you didn't open absolutely cracked in this. There's a chance to come back against a cracked hand. There's also the chance for you to just come over the top, like this game allows. Skill expression, where you can't just memorize lines and perform those lines and win because you won the dice roll. So I don't think I'd ever trade off this game as long as it's around.
Now I think we're onto something. So now I'm gonna take you over to something that some crazy person decided to rank every PQ winner in Australia. So congratulations on entering the list.
Thank you.
Your name has been mentioned by a fair few on this list that, you should definitely be an honourable mention. And through my research, I do remember when I was a pleb down at those bottom tables, you did rise to the top ranks in the top 8 and finished third in the first Australian PQ back in the Fortress, Melbourne.
That was a really fun event, actually.
Oh, look, I think that really sort of made a lot of the people that attended that event love the game even more, because it was sold out tickets. It was an amazing venue. There was a real bit of hype about it. Whole lot of other things that could have done better, but at the end of the day, all in all, it was one of the best PQs I've ever been to. And shit, it was fun.
Yep.
So, and congratulations. You were on Boba Yellow, if I remember.
No. So for the Fortress PQ, I was on Bossk Blue.
Oh, you were the Boss Blue player. Got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Eating all those Boba Greens makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I wish I was. That was the whole point of it, was to try and counter that Boba Green meta. I did not get a single Boba Green matchup that day.
It's always like that. It's always like that.
I played into, I think, 2 Boba Tarkin Towns.
Yeah.
And a couple of Bossk ECLs.
Yeah.
And a couple of, I got a Bossk Blue mirror match, and there was a few other control decks and stuff. I think my top 8 was against Pout Blue. But not a single Boba Green, unfortunately. And I was just like, of course, we're in, what's being talked about as a tier 0 meta, with Bossk Green being the deck, and you're either on it or you're trying to counter it. And so I bring the counter, and of course I don't get a single one.
Hey, I just want to say, based on my pointing system, so I'm not sure if you've seen this before, but I do take in account for some people that can't travel, and it's about their placement at the PQs they've had chances to attend, and of course one of your teammates, Mr. Luke, who's gone to 4 PQs only and won all 4 of them, 10-point system. You're Yeah, I mean, you're one of the more travelled people, just as much as Fletcher and Scott, which I'm sure you know these people by name and sight, and you prepare for them because they travel the ranks as much as you. Now, I did notice this particular set, you are one of our most travelled person that's really sort of taken on our southern friends in South Australia. From what I can see, you travelled to Sydney to take on them. You challenged your local folk, and you came down to Melbourne, where I got to meet you, and good to see Rowan again. So, mate, for those in the Australian community, can you maybe tell me, what do you find different about the different crowds, and maybe bit of meta, like, you know, like for example, Europe's a bit more top end, Melbourne's, you know, a bit more aggro in States. Somebody that knows the meta and is a top contender and a top table, like you've hit 50% top cut in all your PQs, man. So congratulations, really up there.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us, what's the different metas like around Australia?
There's a bit of a mix. It seems to be there seems to be like the ebbs and flows of it. Canberra, so for example, like my local meta, it's always a
shout out your local. Which one's your local?
So my local is Aki Canberra and Small Worlds.
Oh, nice. Down
here.
Yep. With Rob. Yep.
Yeah. So Brad and Richard run those ones.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the local meta down here, like for our showdowns for the PQ and stuff like that, there tends to be a bit of a bit more control.
Yep.
There's a few control players down here that love to get on that.
Yep.
But we have a wide range. There's I'm on Boba. I've been on Boba since last set.
Yep.
About halfway through last set, and so nobody's ever surprised to see me rip out my Boba deck. But there's a few guys down here that love piloting Vader Yellow.
Nice.
There's some a couple of guys that love their Thrawn, their Kylo 5 recently. We've got one guy that loves his Iden Tarkin Town.
A lot of blue. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of blue down here, and not much aggro though.
Interesting.
There's only a couple of guys that sort of play Kylo Tarkin Town and Sabine, and it's not their like every tournament deck. It's maybe every second or 1 in 5 tournaments even. They might decide, you know what, today I'm just going to run into bases and see how I go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it seems to chop and change a lot. Sydney, I think there's a lot of mid range there.
Yeah.
I tend to fall into having a lot of mid range matches when I'm up there against a lot of people, with probably a heavier side to aggro than control.
Yep.
Following the mid range.
Nice.
And then I think Melbourne would probably, in my experience, is almost the opposite side to it, where it seems to be more control.
Yep.
There seems to be a lot of people on the control to mid range section with a bit of aggro thrown in around there from other players as well. So
yep.
That's been my experience anyway. It could just be my matchups as well, that I just keep falling into these ones.
Yeah.
That I just, it could be that I just dodge the high amount of aggro players that there could be in Melbourne or Sydney, and I haven't seen it. But typically, I think if I went back through all my Sydney PQs, I think I'd find myself in a lot more mid-range matchups. Things like, I think the deck I've played the most versing people up there would have been like Quinlan Tarkin Town, or I versed a fair few like Rays and Yodas and Han 2s.
And what about our southern friends when you went down to Adelaide to Dragon's Lair?
So down in Adelaide, what did I get? I got like I think I played a Quinlan down there. Played a Han 4 Tarkin Town, which would probably be more aggressive.
Yep.
I played some CADs.
Yep.
They were the more mid-range CADs than the weenie aggro CAD.
Yep.
And I think most of the control down there was from the the foreigners that had flown in for the event.
Yeah, those Skip City people, those horrible people.
The control I think was the control was coming in from the Melbourne boys, and I think although I think maybe Scotty had taken control for that one as well.
Yeah. Amelia Thea is pretty well known for her blue ability as well. So
I think she was on
Tarkin Town
for that one.
Yeah, correct. So
I think because the winner of the event, Max, I think she had taken into account that he was on Han 2 Force Blue, and so it is supposed to be a good counter for it.
Yeah. Didn't work out that particular one, but
mate, didn't work out. But
that's
one thing that's good about this game is there's no 100% deck. There's no deck that just 100% of the time will beat another deck.
So from the words of the PQ champion, when coming to Melbourne, bring an aggro. When going to Sydney, bring a control. When going to Canberra, bring an aggro. And when going to Adelaide, just get lucky. So now I'm just moving on to I've got your amazing deck list here. So let me just get to a better linkage of it. Give me a sec. Sweet DB, yep. And where is my deck? Okay. So I've got your deck list here in SWU-DB. Your claim to fame since JTL days. Can you explain for those why are you playing a so-called aggro deck being a control player?
Well, I guess I would define aggro decks by decks that purely will go base.
Yep.
And that play a lot of early game, with their top end being like your typical mid game.
Yep.
So I guess for me, Boba Data Vault, or when I started out, I refused to go on Data Vault, so I played Boba, just a 50 card, 30 health base for a while.
I'm gonna puzzle you on some of the choices, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all good. But so I found the interaction. So red green villainy. I like a lot of the pivot points that you've got in it. The ability to ramp if you need to, but you can also play some strong units that have really good trading potential. Overwhelming Barrage is obviously just one of the cards that gets brought up in every conversation of broken cards in this game.
Yeah.
So, turn 5, just being able to be like, I want to reset your board. It's too frightening for me. But yeah, I guess the way that I saw it was more of that, like a mid-range, but on the aggressive side of mid-range. But yeah, it was still a mid-range deck in the way that I viewed it, compared to things like Sabine or Kylo Tarkentown, like Kylo 2 Tarkentown.
Yep.
So that was pretty much it. I do enjoy control, but I played more mid-range than control overall in playing card games before. So
I mean, I can definitely see a more control-y basis here, with the open fires, with the force chokes, with the escort fighters, and so I can definitely see a bit more of those that some other decks don't run. Now, for those that do play Boba Data Vault, that's going to look at this video and say, hey, how's other champions playing it? Is there any cards here that you think should be highlighted and explained your reasoning why to other Boba Data Vault players?
I mean,
like one that strikes me firstly would be there was always a debate of MC30 versus the assault ship that's a 4/6 body that does indirect when it comes
Dornian?
in. Yeah, which is good
Yep.
against the blues, So
Dornian gun. So I played Dornian gunship over MC30 for most of the time I played this deck.
Yep.
One of the big reasons was that as a 4/6, when you put Boba onto it, it goes to 8/10, which meant that your opponent couldn't force throw a crate and just knock your leader out.
Yep.
So that one extra health was a big boost on Dornian.
Yep.
It's also got it does the indirect, so it plays with the deck quite well. But going into this PQ, one of the big things that I found was that due to the force throw ban, Han 1 green had made a big return.
Makes sense.
And one of the pivotal moments in that deck is the fact that they will get to 7 resources typically when you're sitting at 5.
Correct.
And so if they if I play a Dornian and they go to 7 and they play out Emphy's Nest, Emphy's bounces the Dornian back.
Makes sense.
Now all of a sudden I've lost my turn 4 play and I don't have my capital ship that I want to potentially put Boba onto.
Yep.
Emphy's can't play down and bounce the MC30.
Makes complete sense.
That was the choice I made there, was that I wanted to shore up my Han 1 green matchup a bit better.
Yep.
And make sure that matchup was stronger for me, because I knew it could be a popular deck and it is an incredibly strong deck as well.
Yep.
So I pivoted off the Dornians into the MC30s, and I figured that into control, I just have to play the deck's natural game of putting down the units that do the indirect, so that if they're defeating my units, they get burned. If they defeat them, I've already done some damage to them, and just getting to that late game of they play a super laser blast, I respond by doing 8 to their base with a planetary bombardment. So I took the hit in the control matchup of losing Dornian, which plays well into a lot of their removal, to play a ship that does not play well into their removal, but gave me a much more favourable matchup in Han 1 green. And I'd also noticed a lot of the blue lists seem to have been going lower and lower on either their takedowns or their fells.
Yep.
And so one of the things I didn't like about MC was it plays into both of them, but because they didn't seem to be maining 3 of each, it was now sort of like I can take the risk as well that I might be able to stick it for a turn.
And punch for 6. No, it makes sense. And Escort Escort Fighter, I assume, is for some Millennium Falcons as well, with the rise of Han 1?
Yeah, so it comes into it as well with the hitting the Falcons and stuff. Anybody that's spoken to me about the Canberra and the Melbourne PQ will find out how much Wedge abused me in both those PQs, with both lucky hands for my opponent and unlucky hands for me.
Yep.
But the Falcons were one of those issues, and previously it had been the open fires had been one of my answers to those when they came down.
Yep.
But I decided that I would like more answers to that.
Yep.
And just in general, any space aggro, any space deck that's trying to put up some threats, Boba Data Vault can give this deck a little bit of trouble, because while this deck does play a lot in space, it still has a lot of early game going to the ground.
Yep.
And Boba Data Vault can just get ahead of you in space and then lock down the space arena and keep you out of there.
Yep.
So then a lot of my late game stuff just won't work. So I also wanted the chance to, they play a turn 1 like black 1 and then they put Poe onto it, I can just tap 3 and run into it and it's gone.
Mate, listening to you, you certainly know this deck back and front, and all the matchups. Is there any other card here that you want to sort of bring about and sort of say, hey, this is why I did it? Or everything else is pretty self-explanatory to a Boba player?
I think most of it, the only other one is the Daring Raids. They come in and out of different lists.
Yep.
I just decided that a 1-cost card that can do that 2 damage, it's often what can put a unit to lethal off the Boba ping.
Yep.
It can often be the card that also, like, the damage to base results in them having to defeat a unit. It did actually come up in one of my matchups where it did exactly what I had planned for it to potentially be able to do. I just found that I wanted that potential, a couple more cards to pair with the First Order Stormtroopers for turn 1 in case I drew a couple of 1-costs to make the play a bit better, but also just that late game ability to just be like, I need that 2 on base, so I'm going to put the 2 on base. So it pairs with the First Orders, but it pairs with the Ruthless Raiders in that late game ping damage.
Makes sense. And it's it's just a good dirtle card sometimes too, right? So
yep, that's it.
That makes so much sense. Now I've just got your so 32 players, Sydney PK over at Mega Games. I've got the top 8 here. See, I'm going to go quickly into your run. Firstly, for those, you've been trying to win a PK for a few sets.
Yep.
How does it feel now that you won one?
Yeah, it feels really good.
I bet it does.
Out of the 5 yeah, I think out of the 5 PQs
Yep.
that I've topped,
Yep.
I've got this one that I've won.
Yep.
I had a Sydney one. The Sydney one at the start of this set, I got knocked out by Cad.
Yep.
And then the other 3 have all been me getting knocked out by Sabine.
Jesus. Okay.
So I lost top 4 in Melbourne at Fortress to Sabine.
Yep.
To the Sabine player that played Fletcher in the finals.
Yep. Knackers.
And
Yep.
the other 2 times have both been top 4 in Adelaide. Clint knocked me out with Sabine, and then top 8 was at Mega Games in set 4. Clint knocked me out of top 8 with Sabine.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, I guess one of the things was seeing that Sabine was no longer in the picture. I think at that point it sort of lifted me up a bit. Scotty took care of the Sabine player that made top 8.
Yeah.
In the top 8, and at that point I was like, okay, I've still got some hard matchups, but I might be able to make this run finally happen because I don't have to come up against apparently my biggest bogey deck in this game.
Now it makes sense why you didn't go to Basker Forge's Perth Big Kid, because there's a monster Sabine over those waters, I hear.
The best Sabine player in Australia playing over there, and apparently it's the one deck where I can just, whenever I cut it, I bless them with the absolute stones every game.
That's awesome, man. Mate, that's so it was a happy feeling is what I'm hearing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was absolutely ecstatic to know that I've got my points now. I've qualified for Worlds next year.
Nice. So you going to Vegas, baby?
Yeah, I'll be on my way over there.
Mate, we hope to get more Aussies, and you know, one of the reasons for the Discord is just to connect people, and hopefully people can jam and really lift the tides in Australia, so we can get some good representation over in the world. So really glad you're representing us over there. Now I've just got your run here on the Melee GG. All 8 hard rounds. Just quickly as an oversight, mate, any highlights or any funny moments you want to share of your tournament run?
So there was a bit of a laugh heading into round 2.
Yep.
Following round 1, I think there was Clint, Scotty, myself, and Rowan standing around having a chat with each other.
Yep.
And we were all 1-0 at that point.
Yep.
And talking about potential matchups, what we could face. Being a smaller tournament, it automatically cuts down to just the 16 players that'll verse. And Clint made a joke being like, "I hope you two play," because he did not want to have to verse Kira.
Yep.
And he was hoping that we would play with me having that bit more of a favourable matchup into the blue-green villainy.
Yeah.
And then right as he was saying that, Tivy had walked into the conversation and was like, "Be careful, you could jinx yourself and have to pair up with Scott." And Clint was just like, "Oh, please don't let me have to play Scott." Then the pairings came through, and Rowan and I had paired for round 2.
Yep.
But then we got the big laugh when Clint let out let out a bit of frustration because he had indeed paired into Scotty.
Oh, the old jinx, man. The old jinx.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Townsy Rowan, Mr. Rowan travelled down to Melbourne with CJ to give us a good run for our money over here in Melbourne. So, yeah, both amazing players, and you took that one 2-1. So...
Yeah, game 1 was pretty comfortable for me. Game 2 was pretty comfortable for him. Game 3 was a really good one.
Yeah.
Right as he was hitting that turn where he could stabilize, I ripped a Devastator, and I just slammed that down to lethal. So
the old sinking feeling, the old Devastator.
Yeah.
So, my God. So, mate, went absolutely undefeated here. Two questions. One.
Yep.
Which was your favorite game, and then 2, which was the hardest matchup, and giving respect to your opponent?
I'd say that I had a lot of fun with the in the top 4 against the Piet Red.
Interesting. Adam K. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun because both the decks are the same colours, playing a very, very similar style with each other.
Yep.
But Piet just does what I'm trying to do, but a bit faster than I can possibly do it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun in the perspective of me having to try and find the best lines I could and trying to really work around what he had on board, what I could possibly play that turn, and just trying to make those adjustments each turn as we both drew, trying to figure out what he might have, what I could play, how I could try and hold on to the game.
Yep.
My matchup with Rowan was, in terms of just, having a laugh and playing with a mate and stuff, would have been the funnest one. Just, we both know each other's decks, we know each other's play style, we know what we're doing and stuff, so that's always a lot of fun as well. He's a fantastic player.
Oh, yeah, top bloke, yep.
Yeah, so our matchups are always good fun, and he got to showcase his tech that he'd put into his side deck just for me, and he got to show it off really well and kind of throw it in my face when I said, I can see how it could work, but I don't know how strong it would be, and then he proceeded to absolutely shred me apart using it. So he played the Grappling Guardians.
Yeah, I assume it was the whale. Yep.
Yeah, the whale. And using pouch returns and stuff like that to just knock my Devastators off the board, knock any ship that I put down. He's like, yep, kill that. And I was just like, oh God, he's absolutely destroying me with these. So that was a good bit of a laugh as well. But yeah, so it would have been those two. The toughest one, Ron gave me a run, but I'd definitely say it would have been my top 8 or my top 4 match would have been my hardest matchups.
Nice.
Harm Green just can have matchup into Boba.
We're gonna analyze that in full depth. So I'll get you to save your juice until then. And now teammate sacrifice. Good old Scott, who's always good to be a gentleman. And do it for the team.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, if it was played out, who would have won? I assume you guys have tested before. So.
We have tested before. Yeah. It's honestly, it's such a matchup that comes down so hard onto the opening few turns.
Yep.
What I found was if I can ramp and they don't ramp, I've got a decent chance.
Yeah.
If we both ramp,
yeah,
I'm still in with it. I've still got a chance,
yeah,
but it's a lot less now.
Yeah.
If Han 1 ramps and I don't get any ramp at all, I've found that I normally proceed to get absolutely annihilated in those games because I can't create a threat that deals with the fact that they've just played 2 7-drops in a row and I'm still playing a 4-drop and a 5-drop. So
I having piloted that deck before, I believe you were fighting on the back foot, and hence why it was a really good segue maybe to now talk about your top 8 match. We now teach a noob session. So I've just got the YouTube link I sent you there. So I've got it timestamped to 6 hours and 58 minutes and 19 seconds. Shout out to T-Bold that's been sitting there for that many hours already commentating the thing. The boys do an amazing job. I'm just setting my playback speed to 2x. And when you're ready, I'll press start and we can run me through and the audience through about what's going through your mind, what things are you looking for and what are you worrying about, those little intricacies that really helps us get into the mind of a PQ champion and how they handle this tough matchup. So I'm just going to press play here, and feel free to ask me to play pause if there's sections where you think you want to go a bit more deep dive for the audience. Okay. So
no worries.
So I've set on 2 speed. I'm pressing play now. You've got a piece of paper in front of you. Looking at each other's deck lists. You're shuffling up. What's going through your mind as sitting there first game into a top 8?
Yeah, so the things I was looking for in his list was like the number of bamboozles, if there was any like main deck confiscates or anything like that. Just trying to figure out my plan of whether I was going to game one try to put Boba on a ship or whether I was going to put Boba onto the ground.
Makes sense.
I was also just looking for those like the pilot numbers, any of the potential tech, like if it was main decking Qui-Gon, for example, the number of waylays, just trying to figure out exactly what the removal was, what the counterpoints were, anything like that he could be presenting to me.
Makes sense. And what are you looking for? What are you mulliganing for in this matchup? Based on what I'm hearing is ramp.
So this matchup, one of the big ones that I'm chasing is ramp. So essentially it would be, I want to see a turn one play. If I don't have a turn one play, I'm very, very far behind against this deck.
Yep.
Since they've got...
So you kept your first hand, so it seems like you got what you wanted. Yep.
Yeah, and so I think what I was tossing up here was just what the resources were. So I think I hit the turn one HK, and I'm pretty sure I hit a resupply as well.
Nice.
And so I think I was just tossing up between keeping an overwhelming barrage and something else that I maybe a 4-drop or something that I could potentially play, but wasn't 100% sure on. But yeah, I saw the hand that I was chasing, something that I could get the plays going, and that I'd be able to try and pull ahead if I had the opportunity.
Nice. Looks like you guys are just thinking it through at the moment about what's going on. Got your hands ready?
Yeah, I think we were just waiting for the announcement, like for time to actually start.
Yeah, nice.
For it, I think there was a bit of a one where they were like, yeah, you can shuffle up, you can get your resources ready. Yeah, it was an eager escort, I think.
Have you played against Dylan before? Is he a known character for you?
No, so Dylan was actually, he's a gentleman from South Carolina.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think it was, or North Carolina. He was over here for work, and so he'd seen the PQ and decided to come along to play.
Awesome. Our American
friends. Made it to the top 8, and then got paired up with me, and I was sort of like, okay, cool, we'll see how we go here.
Yep. Starts off with the Falcon, you've got your HK, yep.
Yep.
Open fire,
yeah,
beautiful.
So I went with the open fire. Going into that turn, I was definitely like, no, the Falcon can present a lot of damage. A Chewie on the Falcon or a Han on the Falcon just puts me so far behind on this.
Yep.
I was like, no, the open fire on turn 2 was the best. I can just resupply turn 3.
Yep, you just did. Yep.
Yep, and so that was the main thing. He waylaid my HK. I was like, cool, no worries, that's fine.
I noticed you got a super laser tech in your hand. Would you want a double ramp? Nah, you put it down.
No, so the double ramp, there's not many games where the double ramp would ever come up. You kind of, once you're on your 5-6 resources, you're really looking at trying to push into your mid and late game at that point.
Makes sense.
You've got a really nice climb. Like 6 resources allows you to play your Ruthless, your Planetaries, Barrages, MCs, anything like that.
You're looking like you're going to flip without a ship. You're considering flipping without a ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Yeah. So I had the OB in hand.
Yeah.
If you want to pause here, I can explain this situation.
Oh no, you can just talk it through. It's fine. Yep.
Oh no, it's mainly around the Kira as well because I
go.
the hand.
Yep, got it.
So I flipped because the plan was to flip Boba, threaten the OB to try and hold his Han flip off.
Yeah.
It's obviously very telegraphed, but it was kind of, when I was looking at my hand, you could see I sort of moved the leader back and forth. I decided that was my best option at the time.
Correct.
Because it was telegraphed, he just placed Kira straight down.
Yeah.
So what happened here was he called overwhelming barrage straight away.
Before you showing your hand, I remember the shot.
Before I even showed my hand, he just put Kira down and said overwhelming barrage straight off the bat.
Yeah.
I had the overwhelming barrage in hand.
Yeah.
And so I think both of us overlooked the fact that I needed to still show my hand.
Yeah.
Because he just called something and I did have that card, and so in my brain it just registered that it had resolved properly. And so we both moved on, but then afterwards, Tebow brought it up to me and was like, "Did you show your hand?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "In game 1," and we both stopped for a minute and went, oh no. And yeah, had a bit of a laugh around that.
Yeah.
And then Dylan was like, oh, did you have an overwhelming barrage? I'm like, I did, you sniped it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was sort of that no harm, no foul, because if he'd looked at it, he may, there might have been something, but he definitely would have been calling the overwhelming barrage.
I mean, whenever I play Kira, I definitely want to see what's in person's hand, so it's on him as well. So it's fair enough.
Yeah, 100%. But happy to keep going now.
I'm gonna press play. I'm at 7 hours, 6 minutes, and 32. So I'm pressing play now. So you've just played. Okay. You've just played IG. You've pinged 2 units. So.
Yep. So the idea for that one was kind of to hopefully, if he tries to swing into me, his ship now dies.
Yep.
If he doesn't put the blue leader in, Boba can kill the Kira. I can open up my
overwhelming barrage. Yep.
My overwhelming barrage again.
Yep.
So I'm just stalling actions here.
Yep.
To try and see what he does.
Yep. It's gonna flip.
Seeing if he does deploy or not. He decides he was. I was kind of like, if I pass here, I doubt he claims because he's just throwing a card away. But at the same time, I wanted my barrage back online more than I wanted to hit the Han when it came out, because I was like, no matter what, I can barrage him next turn. But he runs into me, and I was like, cool, this is good. I have them all in hand already, so I was like, I'm going to go to 7. First thing I'm going to do is run this maul straight over the top of Han and leave him stuck on 6 resources again.
Nah, playing this so well.
I also, it'll come up in a second. Draw gas there, hit like
double barrage,
Devastator and and a barrage off the top. So I'm just like, my hand's absolute gas at the moment.
Yep.
So because he had the blue leader with 5 on it, I was this was the point where I was deciding, do I maul and put the damage on the IG or not? And I decided I would, because then the blue leader can't just trade into maul.
Yeah, it makes sense. Very clever.
So at this point I was like, yep, if he just goes another 5 to my base, I'm fine here. Luckily, I think he knew the threat the maul was, so he
spent his whole unit, yeah.
Yep, and I was like, cool, that's exactly what I'm looking for, is for this sort of thing, because I'm now going to 8 resources.
The Devastator's in your hand.
Yeah, I've got the Devastator, we're going to 8, I'm about to just really change the momentum of this game.
And you're still playing control, I noticed, because you chose not to put the 4 into base, but you knocked out his L3. Interesting. Yep.
Yeah, so at this point, like the L3, all of that stuff, it represents the
hot shot.
Well, the ability, the hot shot, but the ability to absorb some of the damage that I might need.
Makes sense.
Later on.
Makes sense.
If the Devastator gets cleared or anything.
Yep.
So here I barrage the Falcon straight away. The reason for that is because, again, a Han pilot on that Falcon actually kills my Devastator, and because it is a Millennium Falcon, it won't even trade.
Yeah, no, nice.
So I was just like, need to clear that Falcon straight away, just in case he's got another pilot.
Yep.
Put 12 on base, and he
called it.
Conceded at that point.
So what are you thinking about when you're sideboarding in this situation? What are you looking at bringing in or bringing out?
So the cards I'm looking to bring in are the Confiscates again, because like a turn 2 Chewie on a ship can still just end me before I can get started.
Yep.
The Han pilots, the hot shots, all of those represent a lot of damage over a few turns if I don't clear them.
Yep.
So I was bringing in the 2 Confiscates to handle the upgrades.
Yep.
The Escort Fighter is another answer to
Falcon. Yep.
The Falcon, so that I would have the 6 in the main board, and I think, just thinking about my list overall, I think.
So you got IG-88, IG-2000. You got Pulp Returns. You got Dragon.
I think I brought the 3rd Craving Power in as well.
Interesting. Yeah, a bit more controlling. Yeah, makes sense. What do you take out in this situation?
So this situation, it would be I think I sighted out one of my Force Chokes.
Yep.
I think I sighted out one of my IGs, because while one IG is decent, there's never a situation where I'm trying to wipe the board multiple times off like small units. The IGs are really good into like the Cad Weenie, the Vader and stuff.
Yep.
The Han Green, they're not so good because a lot of these units have
big health. Yep.
A lot of health.
Yep.
So my opening hand, I had my turn 2 play, but I did not have any turn. I had a turn 1 play, didn't have any turn 2 play, and didn't have a good curve whatsoever. So I decided to forfeit the turn 1 play to mulligan and try to hit a bit more of a curve.
Are you already on game 2? Are you? I'm just in sideboard phase. Hold on. So
okay.
Let me catch up. Hold on.
Yep.
So you're shuffling. Okay. Now I'm at 7 hours, 17 minutes and 14 seconds. So he's got the initiative. So
yep. But yeah, so I think
so I'm pressing play now. Yep.
But yeah, so I mulliganed. I then proceeded to miss a turn 1 play, and I hit the ramp, but I missed the turn 1 play. So I was like, I passed here to try and hopefully throw him off.
Yep. And he played a blue leader. Yep.
But he played the blue leader. He didn't bite on it.
Yeah.
Of course, in classic fashion, I hit my turn 1 play off the next draw.
Of course. DV. Blame the DV. Yep.
Yep. So. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yep. He just resupplied.
So he just resupplied. So I now know I'm really behind.
Yeah.
I'm really behind on this. I know he's going to be able to ramp to his Han flip now.
Yep.
And so I'm just trying to figure out any possible lines I might have in order to try and play this. My first thought was open fire the blue leader, tap Boba, kill my super laser tech. I was then considering, though, the Han flip's going to get really brutal, so I was like, okay, do I swing in first? Instead, I passed.
He waylaid you.
Ouch. Yeah.
It's pretty much
so
game
I passed
over.
Twice,
yeah.
hoping to open fire the Han and run the super laser tech in, so he'd have a 7 resource play this turn, but not next turn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he waylays me. I'm now on 5 resources with super laser tech up and no real follow-up plays.
Yep.
He just goes, ramps to the 7. I'm like, Emphy's Nest bounces this again, so now I have to pull the play that I was supposed to do last turn.
Yep.
I'm just so far behind at this point. I was like, cool, we're just going to have to try and catch up the best we can.
Yep. 7 drop, Keller, yep.
Yep.
You're just going through the motions at this point. You showed him the hand this time. That's good.
Yeah, and that was it. This was why we were like, yeah, cool. Kira came down. I showed the hand straight away.
Yeah.
I think because the difference is having that play versus not.
Yeah.
I think here he calls my MC.
Okay.
30. I think I make the mistake here of playing the HK. I probably should have just taken initiative, but I was so far behind. I think I was really stressing about how I was going to try and put this back up.
Fair enough. You want to build board, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no maul, no overwhelming barrage, no craving power. I've just got no real ability. So that's why I should have claimed, was to try and top deck one of those and just be able to wipe Han straight away.
Yep. So you stopped the second 7 coming out, makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. But I whiffed on those anyway, so now I've got, and he goes in with the Calorum first, and so now I've got nothing. So just going to Han, the whole plan here is to clear it off with a HK, but, retrospect, should have done that last turn potentially. I choose to clear it with the Ruthless Raider instead.
And he's just rushed you down at this point. Yep.
Yeah, and he's just, and then I claim, and I'm pretty sure, Emphy's comes down, bounces the Raider. I draw 2 cards and just go, nah.
Yep, makes sense.
Way too far behind. That game was just cooked from the get-go, And once again, him hitting the ramp and me not hitting the ramp until way too late. He's playing bombs and I'm just playing catch-up.
That makes a lot of sense. Now you're shuffling up. So you're not, I noticed you didn't sideboard, so you know what you need to do, just draw better.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much. I need to make sure I actually open turn 1 and and sort of curve out a bit better than I did in that game. The main thing I'm looking for, though, is that ability to sort of either hold off damage if I don't have the units I need, or to get down the units I need that will be able to give me the maths that I'm looking for.
I see a resupply and I see a Kylo TIE silencer in your hand already, so...
So I think here I was tossing up between the Kylo's TIE and the TIE Bomber.
Yeah.
The Kylo's TIE represents guaranteed damage to base.
Yeah.
But a
TIE Bomber survives Falcon.
A turn 1 Falcon, the TIE dies, the silencer dies, and the bomber survives. So I think I went with the bomber on the off chance that he Falcons turn 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because I was just like, I need a unit on turn 2 that's actually doing something.
And now
he plays down a hauler. That's
really scary.
Yep. I'm like, cool. So I draw a confiscate. So that confiscate, I'm pretty sure, stays in my hand up until like the second or the last turn.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like a Chewie here, and I'm done.
Yeah, makes sense.
So he puts the hauler in. I resupply because I've got the MC. He resupplies. So I'm like, cool.
Man, you're pretty good at drawing a confiscate out of a 60-card deck, though.
I haven't played with them a lot, so they were kind of excited to come actually get some time out of the binder and have a bit of love.
Makes sense. This is where MC is also very good, because you can actually run into the hauler and survive. So and so I just I was hoping he didn't have the resupply, but I was like, I'm just going to have to eat his flip turn here, unfortunately. Yeah.
But I've got the barrage in hand, and I've got a craving in hand, so I'm sort of I'm feeling a lot better about my chances of being able to at least get control back over this board.
Yep.
I think he then has a look at his options, decides to break my heart with a waylay here.
Oh, yeah.
Now all of a sudden I was like, I drew a double Devastator. I made a resourcing mistake here. I put down the MC.
Yep.
Which was silly because at the time I was like, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to put out Boba. I'm going to craving power on Boba.
Yep.
I should have kept the MC, because if he had anything to clear my Boba, I now whiff on this turn because I played down my only unit I would have been able to play.
Yeah, it's good.
So
good
it was
pick,
it was a massive mistake on my behalf. I definitely should have been thinking of that. I've been a lot more clear on that one.
But nothing he could play could handle 7. Oh, he could surprise strike you. Yep, true.
Yeah, if he surprise striked into it. And I think he was saying afterwards he resourced a surprise strike either this turn or the turn before.
Yeah. Could have been game ending. Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays out his Falcon, like he smuggles that out. I hit his Han.
Yeah.
He claims. I play out the hauler. The main reason being I want something in space that makes him feel threatened.
Yeah.
I know that it plays into Emphies and him getting it back, but to be honest, at this point, now that I've just gone to 7 resources, I'm a lot more comfortable with him playing the hauler again.
Because you're one in front of him at this stage, yeah. That's interesting.
So I think he's just pressuring base.
He's just racing you, yeah.
Yeah. So I put the 6 back, and I get called out by all the commentators at this point, saying that this is actually like apparently this is something that I do a lot of. I swing first and then I OB to try and draw people into thinking I don't have the OB.
Yeah.
Because the 2 damage is something that I'm never desperate to make sure that I secure that 2 damage on the base.
Yeah.
But them using their resources and me being able to make a more informed decision about how I use that OB is a lot more important for me.
Makes sense.
So it's very typically I will swing in before I actually OB.
High skill stuff.
The Falcon. Cleared the Falcon and left the Emphies on board, with the main reason being I was going to play the Devastator next turn.
Yeah, I'm already at where you're playing Devastator and Tech. So
same, and he's just played the Tech, and we're on to the next turn. For that same reason, that Falcon can kill my Devastator, but the Emphies can't bounce it. So I got the Falcon off, killed the Emphies with the Devastator. Now I've got the Devastator up. I'm pretty much deciding here: do I planetary bombardment, clear the tech, and put the rest on base, or do I swing at base? I swung at base.
Just in place of waylay, yeah.
Yep, so pretty much just on the thing of if he waylays, I clear the tech.
Yeah.
But he's less likely to waylay the unit now that it's tapped down rather than making some plays first and then playing the waylay.
Yeah.
It worked out that way, and then, I was able to use bombardment for game.
My third most expensive legendary last time I checked, planetary bombardment. This is why.
Yeah, that's it. It's
so good.
If you can get to this point where you stick your Devastator, planetary is absolutely disgusting, especially being that in
did he scoop? Did he just scoop?
No, the Devastator put him to 19, so the planetary was lethal because I can assign the planetary because of Devastator.
Mate, I've just paused it there. Whoa, you beat him.
Yeah.
Mr. South Carolina, welcome to our American friends. So
yeah, it was a really good feeling because I know that, especially if you check like the SWU base stats.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's something like 29 wins to Boba versus like 60, 70 or 80 something wins.
I know it's unfavored, so that's why I thought it'd be really good for any Boba lovers to go down there. And just got your check deck list here. You did mention you used to play 30, now you went to Data Vault. Would you ever go back?
So I always build a 30 health list as well to test with it.
Yep.
I found because of how like spread out this meta was when I was testing it.
Yep.
The irony of it was it felt clunkier than my Data Vault list because that 10 less cards, it felt like I didn't have the options that I had in a Data Vault list.
Nah, makes sense. Really good players generally like to be a bit more toolboxy. Makes sense.
Yeah, so it felt like I was actually drawing worse in the 30 health list than I was in the Data Vault list, which was absurd to think about. But yeah, just the cards that I cut out are cards that come up in a lot of matchups where I miss them. I missed them too much. So
nah, makes sense. Those that go to 60 can't go back to 50. I get it. So, hey, I respect your time, and I can't appreciate and say thank you enough for you giving us all this time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Mate,
I really appreciate you doing this stuff and helping to get stuff out to the community. And it's phenomenal to help try and boost the community and get more players involved. So thank you so much for your time as well.
Nah, that's so good, man. Hey, just go to make an outro. Any shout outs or anything you want to sing out while we're here?
Yeah, so quickly, like shout outs to the Canberra boys.
Yep.
For being so accepting and helping me feel comfortable and getting into this game. I wouldn't have been playing it if the community wasn't so welcoming down here. Shout out to Tim Valletta from
Perth.
Hilariously matched up with him on Carabas earlier this week. And before I was even confident about my weekend, he said, "Nah, this is your weekend. You got this." So he called my win before even I was thinking I might have it. So big shout out to him for always being such a top bloke and, sharing that love and helping people feel confident in themselves. And last but not least, a shout out to my team, the baddest team, BDST. Just those lads always being there to talk to help bounce ideas off, to test with and everything really makes it enjoyable, and they really help to help me play the best that I can.
Mate, I'm sure they're also proud of you. Tim's one of our SWU-Aus senators, our representative in Perth, absolute champion. And it's so funny you talk about a community. I generally do think we have one of the safest, most welcoming and kind communities. I always say whenever I'm in a large PQ, like, I'm just amazed how many nerds are here, and we're proud of being Star Wars nerds, and we like slinging cardboard too.
That's it, 100%.
Mate, thank you so much again. I'm just going to end the recording there.